people who can't make it. All right. So, like I said, we wanted everyone to be able to meet the people that are working with Parasol already. So that's one reason. The other reason is there's nothing as powerful as seeing somebody like you doing what you want to do. If the idea is that if Anna can do it, then it gives you the encouragement that you too can also do it. And when she shares her story, she shares her experience, she shares all these things, it gives you a clearer idea of what you need to do to be able to get into this position. A lot of people who come up to me and are asking me questions about how to work with international companies and everything is some of the number one is I don't even know where to start. All right. So part of this, we're hoping that after this, and we're going to be doing this for a few more weeks. We're going to be bringing more people. So, you know, so that you can just get an idea. You start having an idea, start seeing a pattern of what they were all doing and how they made themselves viable candidates to work with on our end. All right. And also, the final thing is just for you to ask your questions. You know, ask your questions. There are people who have particular things they want to know. And this is an opportunity. It's not that, oh, you ask me a question, then I go and ask Anna, then Anna will come and tell me, then I'll come and tell you. You get to ask her these questions yourself. All right. So that said, once again, I've said that the links to join, if you want to work with us, you want to join our what they call it, our talent pool. The links are in the chat. I'll share them again now before we start, before I start speaking with Anna. And if you also want to get updates on all the stuff that we are doing within Parasol. So for example, and I'm sure I've seen some of them here. For example, we had a training for digital marketers, a women-only training. Before it went out publicly, we shared with our community first so that they could start applying. So those are the kind of advantages you get when you are within the community and you get the information quicker. All right. So let's get started. It's 10:10. Let's get through this quickly. So we'll welcome into the webinar Anna. We can all see her video is on. So Anna, how are you doing? You're still muted.
I'm fine, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Right. I want you guys say hi to Anna. So I want to say, first of all, I want to really appreciate you. I know that you guys work hard during the week.
Yeah.
Your weekends are very, very valuable, but you volunteered to do this, and we really, really appreciate you giving your time to share the knowledge you have, your experience, and how people will be able to benefit from the opportunities that we have here. So let's start. Let's get into it. What were you doing before you joined us? You came to us in Parasol. Also, please don't name your company.
Okay.
That's still, yeah,
Yeah.
that's confidential. Thank you.
All
So,
right.
but what were you doing before you joined us in Parasol?
Okay. Before I joined Parasol, I was working in a military setting, in a military hospital per se. So that's where I've been before I got the opportunity to join Parasol.
Oh, wow. What did you
Yeah.
study in school?
Sociology. Yeah, I'm a graduate of sociology. So I
Oh,
think
really?
this opportunity made me realize that it's not really what you studied in school. Just put in the work and whatever you set your mind to do, it doesn't
Mm,
matter what you study. Like we have the opportunity now to switch careers, to do things that we want to do, and it made it easy actually.
interesting.
Yeah.
Um, what were you doing in the military hospital? What kind of work was it?
Okay, I was an administrative staff. Yeah,
Mm,
we do recruitments and all of the admin stuff that
mm,
happens in the hospital. So that's what we handle. So I mostly work hand in hand with the hospital management. Yeah.
mm, interesting. Okay, so sorry if you don't mind, where did you finish? Which university or poly or where did you go?
Oh, okay. Okay. I finished from Kaduna State University, Castle.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
I
Okay.
finished 2017, did my
Mm,
NYSC 2018-19, thereabouts.
mm.
Yeah. That was
All
when I
right.
finished. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you get to know about Parasol?
Okay. That's an interesting question.
Mm,
I remember there was a training that Parasol did. So someone shared the link with me, a very close friend of mine. We stay in the same neighborhood. So she shared the link with me because she knew at that time I was really looking for an opportunity outside where I was. So she shared the opportunity with me to join the training. And I was like, are you sure this thing? She said, just join the training and see what comes up. Funny enough, after the training, I'm not sure it was even up to 2 months that I got the opportunity, of course, to be working for my clients that I'm working right now. That was
mm.
after the training, and the training was mind blowing. It was eyes opening. I realized there were a lot of things that we think we know, but we don't even know half of it. And through that training, I was able to get all of that opportunity to know some of those things. And from there, I was still in the group, of course, in the group chat that they created for the training. And of just like what Banky said, the job postings, most time we get the opportunity to see most of those job postings first before they go anywhere. So that was how I was able to get the opportunity when the application came in and I applied. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. What was the biggest thing let's say what was your biggest insight during the training?
Okay, before meeting my new clients.
Yes.
Okay, is the AI. Like,
Mhm.
I remember we were taught a lot of things we could do with AI, how we could create prompts to give us the things that we are actually looking for. It's not just come and ask AI, write me a letter to so no. Like that's like old school. So in that training, I knew that there, if you know how to use the right words, if you know how to put in the right prompts, you will get mind-blowing articles, you will get mind-blowing research results from using AI. So that training opened my eyes to knowing that this AI that we are just looking at it from the surface is just doing the little things for us can actually go big once you know how to use it. And I think that's one of my highlights during the training.
Interesting. All
Yeah.
right. So now let's go into when you got the when you got the when you joined the group.
Yeah.
So the application, the job opening came. Why did you suddenly have liver to apply for
At first, I didn't have liver, oh, truth be told. When I saw the job posting, I was at work that day. I was like, and I saw that it was closing that very day. I was like, my laptop is not with me. When will I get my laptop? When will I almost just ignored it. Then this same neighbor of mine that gave me the link to join Parasol for their training called me. And she was like, didn't you see the posting on Parasol group? I said, I saw it too, because her sister too was in the group. So she
Mhm.
forwarded it to her and tell her, send this to Anna so she will apply. So when she told me, I was really skeptical. She said, look for a way. It's closing by 5 today. I was like, okay. So that was how I called home. They brought my laptop and I was able to do all of the up and down. Then I applied. I think I submit my application around past 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So after the whole application process, I think that evening I went to the market and came back. I left my phone at home. And when I got back, I got like I saw a missed call on my phone. And I called the number back and it was someone from Parasol, Linda precisely. So when she called me and she said, oh, I submitted application like this, I said yes. Then she asked me a few questions about where I work, my experience pertaining the role I applied for. And I was able to give her answer. I was shaking because I did not believe at first. I did not, and I'm sure she could hear it from my voice that I was a bit not stable, because it was like, "Ah, is this really happening, or am I mistaken? Is something wrong somewhere? Are you sure she's not trying to call someone else?" So, but we had all of those conversations, and she now said, okay, that she's going to forward my application, of course, and if the clients are okay with me, then she'll reach out to me. Yeah.
All right, interesting. Meanwhile, if you have any questions as it comes to you, you can put it inside the chat, or if you want to wait to ask Anna her question directly, then fine. But if any question that comes to you that you want her to address, you could just put it in the chat while we are talking. All right. So once you now were able you are called in, what was the process like?
Yes. Okay. So I think 2 days later, if I'm not mistaken, she called and she was like, "Oh, an interview has been set up." My eyes were like, "Okay, an interview." She said, "Yes." I was like, "Okay." So she told me the day, the time, and I said, "Okay, I was going to prepare for it." Then the day of the interview came. Hmm. It was I don't know how to put it, but thank God for Parasol, because I'm sure I would have panicked and just back out and just tell her that I'm not sure I'm going, because at some point it got to that. For some reason, my network was bad. I was getting people to, okay, just help me out, do one. I couldn't recharge my router. I didn't know what was happening. When I
It's village
eventually got
people. It was
to,
village people. Don't worry.
like,
You
I
know?
believe that day. I believe village people that day. Oh. So then I remember Linda will call me and she'll be like, "Anna, calm down. Take a deep breath, calm down." Like, I don't know how, but the fact that she was able to put me through all of that day really gave me calm nerve at the end of the day, because the whole stress, I was like, okay, what if this meeting comes up and they see tears on my eyes? Because at some point I wanted to cry. I was even telling her that I guess this is it. But there was something that stood out for me during all of those process. Linda did not abandon me. She did not leave me. Like, she kept calling at interval. What's happening? Have you been able to do this? Did you try this? Did you do this? And it made the whole process, even though I was tensed, it made it seamless, because I just knew that, okay, for her to really follow up with me like this, it means, come on, she mean well for me, and she
Mhm.
wants me to get this opportunity. And that really stood out for me. I remember after the whole interview, and funny enough, the interview was not as tough as I thought it would be, because of course Parasol prepared me for all of that. So when the interview came up, we did it. I'm not sure it even lasted up to 30 minutes. And they told me, oh, we are preparing you for the second interview. I was like, okay, that's fast. In fact, they told me that week that they were going to schedule the second interview for me that week. And I was, when I called Linda to let her know that, oh, they said the next interview. And she said, no, your next interview is same today, 10:45. I was like, okay. I was really thinking that it would give me like 2, 3 days to relax from the tension. And she said, no, that it is in the next 3 hours you're having your next interview. I was like, okay. Then I had to start preparing again for the next interview. And she assured me that just relax. This person might want to just give you a bit of shake and all of that, but he can be cool too if you're confident. And I'm like, okay, I need to put on my confidence and more. So she assured me that it's something I can pull through. If I can pull through the first one, I would be able to pull through the second interview. And funny enough, when I joined the second interview, it didn't last up to 15 minutes. At the point, I was the one asking the question, because I was told, okay, interview me. You're going to employ me. Interview me. What questions? And I remember asking the first question, he answered. The second question, he answered. And when I asked the third question, he was like, I love this question. And that was the end of my interview. So he told me that okay, that I'm the second person he's interviewing, and he likes the fact that I was able to ask him those questions, and he was going to reach out if I make it. And I'm like, okay. So all of this happened between 1 week. I'm not sure all of this excluded a week from the application, from the interview. Of course, the interview happened the same day, both of them, from the waiting period to hear from Parasol, from my clients. Everything happened within 1 week. And that was how I was able to finish the interview. And I think 2 to 3 days later, I remember I was discussing with someone about me moving and all of that. I said, but I'm really hoping for something. There's something I just applied for. Hopefully, if it comes true, maybe I'll just be here for now. And boom, Linda's call came in. When I saw her call, I was like, okay. I started praying. I was like, God, I hope this is good news. But like, if it's not good news, she cannot call me by this time of the night. So I picked the call, we exchanged pleasantries, and she said, well, Anna, you got the role. I remember screaming on the phone. I remember screaming on the phone. I'm like, wow, I got the role. She said, yes. I was so happy, and I really thanked her. I remember, okay, it was after the interview. I sent her a message really thanking her for the process, for really calming me through the process, because if I were to be on my own by myself, I'm sure I would have panicked and backed out. So that was how it all played out. And it's still memorable to me because it was like I was watching a movie, but it came to pass. And this is me living the dream. So, yeah.
Yeah, you tell, you're a very good storyteller. Even I know how the story ended, but I was still tense. When she
You
said
wanted
Linda
to
come,
hear?
I was tense. I was like, what's Linda going to say? You know, all right.
Yeah.
So the next question I would like to ask is, so what was your first week like? Your first, like when you now got in, what was that
Okay.
like? What adjustments did you need to make? We'll talk more about, how is it different from other work you've done, but
Yeah.
that first week, just walk us through that. How was that?
Okay. My first week, first of all, I realized I had to work on my timing. We Nigerians and African time, I realize no, you have to work on your timing. You cannot be a Nigerian, you cannot have a Nigerian timing mindset in this job. And I worked on that. Then the first week, I met almost everybody that was to train me for my role. They were all warm, they were all welcoming. I met my boss, I met everybody that was important in my role, those that I was supposed to report to, those that I was supposed to work with, because they all took me through all of the training. So I remember during the first week of that training, one of the ladies taking me training, and she was like, she likes that I am beginning to understand my role. I could really work with it, but she felt my communication is not giving what they want. So if is there something I can do about it? I was like, okay, this is new to me. I'm just used to talking to people directly. So, but with my new role, I knew I would get to talk to people virtually. So there's a certain way of communication that I need to learn how to do. So I remember she reached out to Linda also, and Linda said, okay, we'll see what we can do about it. And Parasol came through again. So I was set up for like a communication training. I went through that training. I think it was just for a day. Yes, we did that training on a Saturday like this. And funny enough, after that training, I was, I think the following week when I was role playing for my role, and the lady was like, "Okay, there's an improvement. Like she sees that my communication has improved. I'm more audible. I don't do the I don't skip. Like I just say the word and all of that." So she was really impressed. So basically, that was my highlight for my first week because it made me adjust and it made me more confident to really pick on my role. Just knowing that you have to do this because you are talking to people. And of course, you have to be on your best professional level. So, yeah, basically, yeah.
Interesting. Fantastic. Um, in your own opinion, what would you say is are the skills that it seems like, at least in this your current role, I'm not telling you to speak for everybody. What kind of skill would you say makes you stand out? Like, would you say that your employer seem to value the most?
Okay. I think most importantly, because I get to talk to people, aside from them knowing that I could ask the people I'm talking to the right questions to get the right answer to know if they are good for them or not. I think another thing is the fact that I was able to communicate like efficiently. I was able to communicate to my would I say clients? I was able to communicate with them in a way that they could really understand what I was saying. Then, secondly, I remember during my interview, I asked my client, like, okay, what are you looking for in someone that would fill this role? And they said, oh, they want someone that is empathic, that someone that is empathic, someone that has compassion, someone that could talk to people and try and understand where they are coming from, try and not to be rude in some other way. You know, you're talking to people, some people can be so sluggish, some people just be professional and let them know that you're doing your job. So when I resumed my role, most of the people I've spoken with, I remember one of the clients even asking me, oh, is there a way I could rate you? I would really want to give you like a 5-star rating. I said, well, unfortunately, we don't have that. But when that time come, you're owing me, I'll look for you. And the person laughed. So I think that's one of the things that stood out for them. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. Empathy and being able to communicate now. All right.
Yeah.
What would you say have been the main differences between your previous job in the military hospital and working here? Like, what would you say is
Hmm.
the culture shift, the difference, what the people, what is it that's the most striking difference you've seen?
Okay. Aside from the financial striking difference, very important. Like I cannot even hide it. Like of course, like that part is just there. Then
Yeah.
the culture shock again is the fact that anyone that have been in the military setting, you know, we address people ma, sir, you know. But in this setting, you just talk to people. There's no pressure of, oh, let me be in a form that will not look like I am trying to, you know, all of those things. You know your role and you know your job, and once you're being called upon to answer a question, you just answer it as plain as possible. You don't have to sugarcoat it. You don't have to try to please this person. You don't. So I think that's another culture shock for me. I learned that people talk freely, like they communicate in a very respectful way, but not in a way that seem like this person is being oppressed because this person is bigger than. No, like everybody just plays his part. You know how to respect people and you just talk to them like you would talk to any normal person. You're not under any pressure to impress anybody. I think that one very important. You
Yeah.
just do your work. Yeah, so you don't have to impress anybody. I think that's another culture shock for me. And then secondly, the time difference, just like you said, like my Saturdays, I go out once maybe 5, 6. That's when I come out and I look at people. I'm like, oh, how are you people doing? Because I get to sleep all through. So, but if not that, I think every other thing is Not much of a difference, but of course you would know there is difference because you're not working in a Nigerian setting in a Nigerian organization. So definitely you just have to adjust to some of those things.
Interesting. Interesting. So we'll soon go to the questions. I'll
All
just
right.
round up with one last question before we go into the question, because I'm sure everybody now, I can see some people already putting questions in the chat.
Okay.
Um, so like if you are to encourage people who are looking to get a role outside, like what would from you don't have to give an answer that works for everybody. Just give it from
Yeah.
your experience. Like what how would you encourage people who are looking to become global talents, work with global companies, give themselves that option?
Okay, so first I would say if you have a niche, you first of all develop yourself on that niche. And that's one thing I think Parasol does. They train you on those things that you'll be able to know that, okay, this is what I'm actually looking for. So first of all, you develop yourself on that niche, whatever it is that you're looking towards. Or you want to be a VA, you develop yourself with the skills, using the appropriate tools, know how to do all of those things. I think it stands you out and it prepares you for opportunity that will actually just take you to the next level. So just practically preparing. You cannot just wake up from your sleep and expect an international client to call you and say, we are sleeping here, come and be sleeping with us. No. So you just have to prepare for every role. And I think that's one of the things that helped me. Firstly, because I was able to get the opportunity to attend the training, I was able to understand how some of those things work. And when the opportunity came, I was able to prepare for it and send in my application. So I think generally you just have to prepare. Nothing just fall from the sky. You just have to prepare. If you want to be a particular thing, if you want to do a particular thing, give it your all and make sure you want to know it to the fullest, like to the highest level that there is. So yeah.
Interesting. Nice one. So thanks. That's the last question. So once again, I know some people joined while we were talking. I'm going to share the links to our talent pool if you want to join our talent pool, so that if there are openings, we reach out to you, like how we reached out to Anna. I just posted the link in the chat. Also, for the Parasol updates, once again, when we have job openings, when we have trainings, when we have webinars like this, that's where we first share it. We share it inside the Parasol WhatsApp group. I don't know. Some people are telling us that we should move to Telegram. I don't know. I don't use Telegram much. It's WhatsApp, I know. So let's. So now I pasted the links again in the chat if you need them. There are some questions here, so I will start with them. Talia Uso. Hi Anna. She says, "Hi Anna. What makes a candidate stand out to Parasol Associates when you are recommending them to employer?" Okay, she's not the one who recommends, but I think I'll still ask you. So what would you think now that you've been inside the system? What do you
Yeah.
think would make a candidate stand out to Parasol?
Okay, I think firstly is having your first of all, I think some people have the experience, but they probably don't know how to put it on their CV. They don't know. I remember there was someone was saying some people just use one CV to apply every job. So I think for Parasol, your CV have to stand out, and it has to be in a way that if they just like the way Linda called me that day and was asking me questions, even though I was a bit panicking and all of that because it was still like I was surprised that I was called. But I knew from that call, she knew I had the experience. It was just okay because of the sudden call and all of that. So she knew, okay, from our conversations, she knew I had the experience And the fact that the whole thing happened the way it happened, it a bit of made me prepare for other subsequent encounter I have. So I think firstly, if you have the experience, you don't have to lie on your CV. You have to make sure your CV is up to standard, up to the international standard. I'm sure they have something like that. Mr. Banky can testify. Then lastly, just make sure that you are in the right circle. It was being in the right circle that gave me this opportunity. If I was never in Parasol training, if I've never attended any of their training or be in the group chat, I would, of course, there's no way I would have known. So, and when the job application came in, if I was not a Parasol, if I was not in the Parasol group, if other people that were in the group applied and they meet the role, there's no way they are going to give it to me when I have never attended or done any training with them. So I think that again gave me like an upper edge. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Just to add to that, as you know, what makes us recommend, we are the ones that now, well, Linda, I don't know why Linda is still on the call, but we are the ones that recommend people to employers. And Anna has basically touched on it. Now, here's the thing. When an employer gives us a job description, of which sometimes we are the ones that sit down with the employers and design the job description. What they are doing with that job description is that they are giving you the marking scheme. You understand? These are the things that we want. The funny thing is that a lot of people don't read the job description. So you have to pick up your CV and tailor it to the job description. The second point is that a lot of people, and that's one of the things that we covered in our trainings, a lot of people have relevant experience, but they don't know how to put it on paper. And that's why their CV looks the way it looks. These, for some of you that have been in the Parasol community for a while, whenever I have time, I do these sessions with you guys where I do CV reviews. And then I go over your CVs and I see sometimes the most important thing that is making you very interesting in your CV, you go and put it at the bottom next to references. Nobody is going to see it. You understand? So what's going on there? So this is really, really critical. A lot of people, they are, even when they have the experience that Anna has spoken about, you are experienced, you have the quality, you have the skills, you don't know how to now translate it into the language that potential employers and people like us can see. All right, so let's quickly go to the next question. We have 20 minutes. What are the common mistakes? Okay, this is still Talia. What are the common mistakes Nigerians? I think this is kind of linked to the other one, but let's see if you have anything else you want to say, you can add to that. What are the common mistakes Nigerians make when applying for foreign remote roles, and how can we avoid them?
Okay, Mr. Banky, I think you should take this. You're in the best position.
Well, like I've already touched on some of them. People don't read their job description. They don't read the job description. The job description is, so let's say me, I'm hiring now, and I send you the job description.
Yeah.
Job description is a fancy word to describe that, look, oh, who's there? Bulama Peter or Idoko Funu Bamidele. This is what I want. Then what a lot of Nigerians do is that they will now send a CV. So I now told them, okay, see my job description. I want pounded yam. Then you now come back and tell me that, oh, I can make you a coffee table. That's what your CV is saying to me. Why would I give you the role? My problem is that I need somebody to be making pounded yam for me every day. You now came back and said, I can make you a coffee table every 6 months with your CV. Your CV has to speak to the job description. So I think there are other tactical things that people make, but I think that's the overall, because the thing is that it's the CV that opens the door for you to now get into the other parts. And that's the mistake people make there at that point. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, this is an interesting one. David says, hi, Anna. How are you able to overcome the accent barrier while your client able to understand you? Very good question. While your client able to understand you 100%, how are you able to adapt to their way of speaking? Were you talking like American? So, so
Okay. I don't do the shrin. No. I just make sure that my words are articulate as possible. And I also, funny enough, I could hear everything. If I'm conversing with my clients, I could hear everything they are saying. But I just made sure that I am audible enough and my words are articulate enough for them to know this is what I'm saying. I cannot switch my accent overnight. I'm Nigerian. You can't take it away from me. So, but I just make sure that I am able to communicate with them on a level that we both understand and we hear each other.
very good. And what I love about this is that you guys are listening to her speak. Let me point out a few things that she's doing. She's speaking slowly and deliberately. Do you understand? She's not rushing her words. She's not stumbling over her words. Like if we were to transcribe what she's saying, we'll be able to pick out each word. So she's speaking clearly. Another thing to keep in mind is that for all we think about the US, America is a nation of immigrants. They are used to talking to a lot of people who come from a lot of places. All right. And then number three is there's something called the ENA, the Educated Nigerian Accent. Most Nigerians have passed through the educated system, the educational system. That educational system, did they teach you in Yoruba or did they teach you in Hausa? Most of what you are taught in English. Now, people who have passed through the educational system, they come out with a type of accent that they actually call the Educated Nigerian Accent, ENA. It's a real thing. Now, let me tell you something. Compare the biggest people who do outsourcing work with the Americans are the Indians. The educated Nigerian accent is clearer than the Indian accent. They prefer our accent. I'm just telling you guys this, giving you an insight for free. Okay, so I think we still have a few more questions.
Okay.
Okay, Tinuola Ajiboye asked, "Hi Anna, what's your niche?"
Can you come again?
She's asking basically, what's your niche? Like, what's your particular? And to be fair, I didn't ask you any questions about that. Like, what's your
Okay.
particular role? Yeah.
Okay. So I'm a talent advisor.
Mm.
So basically I recruit for my clients, healthcare practitioners, mostly healthcare practitioners, being that I worked in the hospital. So I'm a talent advisor. Yeah.
All right. So, like so give us a rundown of a day in the life of or what, like you go into the office, you sit down,
Yeah.
what happened?
Okay. So basically, we get applications sent out, and we like a job role that has been sent out, and people apply. So it is my job to sit down, to go through their resume, to make sure that they meet our requirements, they have what we are looking for, they have the right certification. Of course, if you're dealing with health practitioners, you don't just want to recruit anybody. You'd want to make sure that whatever it is that is being stated in the job requirements, they have it, they possess it, they have all of those knowledge. So it is my job to go through all of those things, check their resume, make sure that they meet our requirements. And in that process, we move to the next level where we pre-interview them. We have conversations with them. From our pre-interview, we get to know, okay, this person knows his or her onions. They know what they are doing. What they have on their CV is what they actually do, or is what they are actually doing, or they've had the experience doing that. Then we also ask them behavioral questions, like for instance, someone who is in customer care service, we usually ask them, how do you handle a distressed customer, or how do you handle, some customers can be really,
Difficult.
very funny. So how do you handle them? And from their answers, sorry, we get to know that, okay, this person is patient. This person can actually attend to people even in the most difficult situation. They can give their all. They can have empathy. They can talk to people and put them in a very calm um, mood when they are tensed and all of that. So, and if you're dealing with healthcare practitioners, being that they work with people, like people's life are somehow in their hands, after the hands of God. So
Mhm.
you want to make sure that they don't treat clients, or they don't treat patients anyhow. So from their response, we get to know all of those things. So after that, we usually just send them email. If they get through our process and they qualify, we just send them email, and that's just it basically.
Hmm, interesting. All right. So I hope that addresses your question, Tiniola. The next few questions, I think they are more parasol related. So
Okay.
what I'll do is that I'll just quickly go through them
All right.
quickly. If there's any question you want to ask, maybe you can raise your hand. We have about 10 minutes left. Um, then we'll now go through that. So, but the next three questions, Miriam asked, is this only for Abuja, Makodi, and Kaduna? Idoko asked, please, can a training be organized for those who have never had one? And Solomon asked, is there any time or period you can train and coach us in writing a great CV? Abdul Hakim has a question that, okay, we'll come to Anna. All right, so for the three questions, is this only for Abuja, Makodi, and Kaduna? At this point, yes. Now, one of the main reasons why a lot of these American clients work with us is because it's not only about, so using Anna, it's not only the fact that Anna is a good talent. The thing is that they want that talent to be able to be delivered to them reliably. They don't want to hear that national grid collapsed. They don't want to hear that MTN went on strike, so there's no network. They don't want to hear any story. They want it to be that whoever is going to be working for them is as available to them as if they were just working with them from across the hall. All right. So that means that we have had to build infrastructure on ground to be able to deliver at that level. Okay. So that is why we've done that in Abuja, we've done that in Makodi, and we've done that in Kaduna. Now we are hoping to expand as God helps us and as our business grows. We hope to help, like, let's spread this across the country. But at this point, those are the three locations. Number two, can the training be organized for those who have never had one? Yes, we do the trainings, but it's irregular because we are busy doing our main. We entered training because like I said, the first 3 months that we started doing this business, they were sacking 50% of our staff. I mean, we're like, what's going on? What's going on? Why are they sacking them? Okay, these are the things they don't know. Okay, these are the things that we're going to be teaching so that they don't have this problem. All right. So we do the trainings. Now, occasionally, when we have time, we do free trainings, but we don't know when that is. But we also have like a proper training that we do called the Career Catalyst training. That covers most of the things that we see that people tend to have. So what we even did for that, I think the training that I think Anna attended was like a condensed version of that main training. We just put it all together. So just to show how powerful the training is, just even that condensed one was still able to help in her positioning her for this role. So we do the trainings. If you join the group, the WhatsApp group, whenever we are doing the trainings, you will be made aware. All right. So that's the actionable tip that I'll give you there. Is there any time or period you can train and coach us in writing a great CV? This is part of the initial training that we're talking about. We cover that. We cover how to prepare a CV, how to think about your experience, not just here's a template, go and copy. We teach you how to actually think about your experience and capture it on paper, it is part of that training. There are times when we do the free training, when we have time. There are other times when it's that. So for example, we have an employer from Canada right now who he has people in Nigeria that he wants to train. So we're actually considering running a training. And if we're doing that and we'll open up, it's not free. The reason why it's not free is that because we pay the people that come and do the training. All right. So, and also when you give Nigerians free things, they do it anyhow. The last time, not the last time, like 2 cohorts before, we did a training. We put experimentally 2 people to not that we put them in for free. Everybody else paid. Those 2 people are the only 2 people that have not gotten jobs till today because they did not value it. The others, even the one that we talked about an accent, there was one of them, he had a very thick accent. In the end, he still got a job with an oil company in Nigeria that was paying him 4 times what he was earning when he was working with MTN. All right. So in terms of free, we do what we can, but for the main training, we don't do it for free. First of all, to put it together costs us money. Then second of all, we don't think it really serves people to come in and take that all that value for free. It doesn't help them. Abdul Hakim. Okay. So he's asking, how long have you been working for the client that you are matched with?
Oh, okay. This is my 2nd month.
Second, okay.
My 3rd month, going into my 3rd month. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So this just happened like like you've been with us for longer. All right. All right. Okay, so that addresses that. Let's go to Talia. If my academic background is in a field like engineering, but most of my experience and skills are in areas like administration, business, or virtual assistance, how should I present myself on my CV? Will employers abroad value my degree, even if it's not directly related to the role? Or should I focus more on my transferable skills and work experience?
Okay.
Grace,
First
yes,
of
I
all,
will be sharing recording in the WhatsApp
okay.
in the WhatsApp group. All right. Yeah. So
Okay, so to the last question, there's something funny about how I got my role and how I understand how these people function. They don't really care about what you study. That I'm not even sure anybody asked me, okay, what did you study in school? No, it was my experience that they were after. They saw that I have the experience in what they are looking for, and that was it. Nobody asked me, what did you study in school? Of course, sociology and it does not. So that I said it earlier, like it doesn't matter your background. Like Nigeria is just how it is to everybody. So sometimes when we come out of school, that's when we now realize. I remember I was taking a course, then one of the tutor asked, if you were given the opportunity, what would you have done differently? And I remember saying, with all the knowledge and the information I have right now, I'm not sure I would have even studied sociology first of all, and maybe I would have just picked a very interesting course or one of these digital courses and studied it for 4 years. I'm sure I would have done better for myself and all of that. But then again, getting this opportunity made me realize it doesn't really matter what your background is what you come out, what you decide to build, where your career, where you know you have experience and you really want to stick to it. You just take trainings, you do all the things that are necessary. So that's just it. Basically, you can be an art student and get an opportunity somewhere different because you have the experience, not really because of what you studied in school. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think you answered that beautifully. The only thing I'll just add is show walk-ins. You understand?
Yes,
That's what
exactly. Yeah.
That's what they are going to ask you about.
Yes.
When they are interviewing you or when they are looking at your CV, they are looking, this thing that we want you to do, have you shown evidence in your past that you've been able to
you have done it?
Or something like it. You understand?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We have 3 minutes. Let me Ochonogo. I hope Philomena. Let me go with Philomena. Given that the infrastructure has been specifically set up for Abuja, Makurdi, and Kaduna, how do you envision scaling this initiative to reach others, regions, or stakeholders who are not currently included, and what strategies are in place to ensure inclusivity and accessibility for those outside of these locations. Look, if your government decides to set up good light and good power and good internet, will come wherever you are immediately. All right. In the meantime, this is a private initiative. All right. And so as we grow, we will build. Now, like I said, it's a profit-driven initiative, but the other part of it too is that, look, there are easier ways to make money than to do this business that me and my partners are doing with Parasol. There are easier ways that give less headache. But one of the things that is key for us is that we're building things that build Nigerians. And so as much as possible, so I'll just give you an example of what we are doing here. Everybody knows the best talent is found in Abuja and Lagos. In fact, Lagos, then Abuja, then a distant third is maybe Port Harcourt. One of the things that we are doing with setting up in Makurdi and Kaduna is that we are trying to figure out how to run. It's kind of like a very expensive experiment for us to try and find how to run in smaller cities, how to find the talent and how to deliver the talent. Because imagine, we all know about how much rent is in Abuja or how much rent is in Lagos. If you are able to earn the amount that you are earning when you are working with Parasol and you are living in Makurdi, where Anna is, it's an advantage for you. All right. So that's something that we're looking at. So we are looking at a lot of strategies. We have to run a profitable business and we have to grow. And at the same time, we tell people who work with us, when you're working, like Anna now, what Anna is doing, as she's doing a good job, it's not only for her. As she's doing a good job, it's also creating a good reputation for you that are coming behind her. And that's important. All right. And as that reputation keeps going out, then we'll be able to grow. I'll just take this. It's already 10:59. The last question. I trained last year to become a project manager, during which we completed hands-on training projects to gain practical experience. The Institute also rewrote our CVs to enhance employability, and the Institute referenced us to further strengthen our profiles. However, after reviewing the job pool here on Parasol, I couldn't see project management in the pool. I am also open to pursuing additional training to improve my chances of securing a remote job. Thank you. All right. I'll just take this so that we'll just round up. It's already 11 o'clock. Godwin, for project management, here's what I think about project management. I have my PMP certification also. I think project management is an add-on skill. It's not a core skill. And what do I mean by that? So for example, if you're a software developer and you have project management skills, it makes it more likely that you'll be made a senior project developer, senior software developer, or a leader of a team. Or you are a UI UX designer and you're a project manager. It will make you more likely to become. So let me tell you, I think a story that captures it very well. There's somebody, a mentor of mine in Canada, and what he told me when I was transitioning was that, look, fine, we'll go and do your project management, but a lot of companies would rather pick, let's say they want to manage a team of software developers. They would rather pick a software developer that is experienced and then train him in project management. Then he will come back and run that team, than to find a project manager that does not have software development experience to come and run that team. All right. So you have to find a hard skill. And then so project management is now layered on top of it. Other skills that I think should be layered on top of it, from what I thought you do, communication is really key. Put communication on top of that. Put project management on top of that. Learn basic data analysis. When I say basic data analysis, know how to use Excel. Learn marketing. When I say marketing, I mean just know how to talk to people to give them what they want. Anna, I don't even know whether Anna knew she was marketing. See what she talked about, how she talked to a client. The client said, I'm so happy that people think marketing is about come and buy my something. Marketing problem solving. The fact that a client told her, oh, I am looking for a way to give you a 5-star rating. That means whatever they came into that call with, by the time she had solved that problem, that person is more likely to come back to them. And isn't that what marketing is? Getting people to come back to use your product or service. So you have to learn how to do marketing and sales. You need to learn how to use AI, how to put AI into your workflows to increase your productivity. All right. So those things, including project management, are all skills that I feel that you need to, whatever you are doing, whether you're a chef, whether you're a medical talent advisor, whether this is all these skills that I mentioned are things that you layer on top of that that make you competitive globally. All right. So yes, I think we've addressed that. We've gone over time. I don't want us to be running. I don't want us to make a habit of this. So I am going to share the links again. Join the WhatsApp group, join the talent pool. Well, maybe if you don't feel you're ready for the talent pool yet, hold on that. But join the WhatsApp group. Let me let Anna go first of all. Let her go and sleep. So first of all, thank you very much, Anna. Then we'll do some housekeeping after. Thank you very much, Anna. I really appreciate this. I think Talia speaks for all of us when she says thank you for this insightful session. You really shared and you gave us your time, and I really appreciate that. So we'll just let you go, and then I'll just do some housekeeping now. Okay. Look, we are hoping to do this for the next few weeks. We'll be bringing other people in every Saturday to come and talk to us about their experience, how they came into the role, and so on and so forth. So I would strongly recommend join the WhatsApp group, share with people who you think need it, and then we can, so that people can attend this thing. I was telling Anna before we came into this meeting, and I think I mentioned it earlier, a lot of people think that what we are, and it's understandable. Another thing that I want to make clear, people don't pay us to get these jobs. If you're asking, oh, these people are too good to be true, they don't pay us to get the jobs. It's the Americans, it's the UK people, it's the Canadians that pay us. It's the training that we charge you for, and that's because it costs us to run the training. All right. So yeah, that said, I just want to thank you guys for coming out, sharing your time on a Saturday. And like I said, join the WhatsApp group. We'll be sharing information there. Also, when you register, we also have your email. So we'll be giving you updates on these events that we're doing and other opportunities that come our way. Sorry, Godwin, we're already 5 minutes past. So you raised your hand. All right, he said is an error. All right, so no problem. So once again, thank you guys, and please attend them, share with your friends, let them attend. Let's see, like, look, we're not gatekeeping here. We're not hiding opportunities. There are a lot of things for people to do here. That there are a lot of opportunities for people to share in, and we think that it's going to be a fantastic opportunity for a lot of Nigerians. So share with your people, and then join the group. We'll be sharing links to the next, I think by Wednesday or Thursday. The next links for the next event will be shared in the group and across all other platforms that we are sharing these things. So once again, thank you guys. Have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week.